Hey, what's up? First thing I like to say is thanks for hitting the link and watching this video. It took time and effort to make this. Really do appreciate that. Also, if you don't mind, can you hit that like and subscribe? Hitting the like don't hurt none. You can hit it right before you see the video. Don't worry, you will be satisfied. Also, we trying to get some new things going on in this channel, and to do that, I need new equipment. And to do that, it really help if you could give some kind of donation. If you can't, it's cool. It is what it is. We still appreciate your presence here. If you can, that would be very nice, and link is in the description. Anyway, right now, let's get to our regularly scheduled program. Hey, what's up there? It's BBN Jack Dorsey. Okay. Recently, there was a vote in Puerto Rico to make Puerto Rico the next state, 51st state. So, coincidentally, it passed with like 97, 98% of the votes. It's crazy, right? Like, that's crazy, isn't it? There's like such a high percentage of people agreed to this. How? Well, this is how. There was also a campaign going telling people to not vote, period. So what happened is only 23% of the people in Puerto Rico actually voted. Now, I don't live in Puerto Rico, so I wouldn't know if becoming a state for them would be good or becoming a state for them would be bad. I don't know if this is something that would be in their best interest. I have not the slightest idea. So this is not in a report talking about how anybody has made a mistake or they should have done this or they should have done that, because I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Obviously, I'm getting this article off of CNN. So let's see. It says, could Puerto Rico become the 51st U.S. state? That's the question of the day after Puerto Ricans voted overwhelmingly for statehood during the non-binding weekend referendum. There are a few catches, though. Only 23% of eligible citizens voted. Well, there you go. So, for those that don't know, Puerto Rico's a commonwealth. So, being a commonwealth, that means that they have their own constitution, they have their own governor, they only pay federal tax incomes on work done within the United States. They pay into Social Security, have access to Medicaid, Medicare, but not other government programs. So basically, also, I heard somewhere that they really, really far in debt, and you know, this might not be something that Republicans in general Republicans, because Puerto Rico would be democratic state if they actually did win statehood. That would be a democratic state. Um, Republicans, they don't want anyone here. Republic. Donald Trump is the president. I'm leaving it at that. So coincidentally enough, you have a democratic state in our the Republicans are basically in control of Congress currently. So this is not something that the Republicans, I would assume, would necessarily want. So yes, I see right there it says that they don't have a vote in Congress. That's not the point. The point is that if Puerto Rico had become a state, that means that the U.S. would have to give more uh, aid to them. And the Republicans, they think everyone is, they try to remove government from the picture supposedly, but if you check the numbers, there's more white people on welfare than anything. There's more white people on welfare than every other race combined. Well, I know individually, I'm gonna have to look up the combined thing. I just maybe used a lot of euphemism, but yeah, there's tons of white people on. So and it's always in these red states. These red states have a lot of people on welfare. That's the thing that kills me. These red states have a lot of people on welfare, but when they try to say the people that are stealing the welfare, it's always some kind of foreigner that they say they come to our country, they're stealing our jobs, they're stealing our jobs. It's craziness. You know what I'm saying? But most of the people that's on welfare are actually white. And I'm not knocking them or whatever. If you need help and you need assistance, the government should provide that or an opportunity for work. So since there's the country that we live in, there's just not opportunity for work for everybody. So yeah, they should provide for people so children don't go hungry and so people can't take care of themselves and things and such. So it says, why do some Puerto Ricans want statehood? After this weekend's election, Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rosello, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. I wouldn't want to get somebody name me correct. It says statehood voters were claiming their equal rights as American citizens. However, it goes deeper than that. Puerto Rico is in an economic crisis. The Commonwealth filed for municipal bankruptcy in May and is in the hole for $70 billion owed to various creditors. Poverty is rampant. Unemployment is high, 11.5%, and statehood supporters, including Roselio, say that the move could boost Puerto Rico's economy. This is far from the first time the question of statehood has been posed to Puerto Rican people, and it hasn't always been so popular. Votes were held in 1967, 1991, 1993, 1998, 2012. 2012 referendum was the first time the popular vote swung in the statehood's favor. Since these votes were non-binding referendums, no action was taken, and indeed there was no action because basically they took a barometer. They wanted to check what the populace thought, so they took a vote to see what the populace thought, and it passed. And then so this is what I'm thinking, that they thought that they might win this time, but there was somebody had something going where it was like, don't go vote. So a whole bunch of people didn't go vote. So that basically means that the people who do not want Puerto Rico to become whatever political party they have there that does not want Puerto Rico to become a state, they can now vote every person who didn't vote and who was eligible to vote as a no vote. I know that's what I heard. Okay, that's what I heard. So they could basically go vote every person that heard. They could go vote. They could use every person that did not vote as a no vote. So there's that. Only 23% of the people voted. So that means that, let's say you didn't vote because you just you was in a coma. They can use you as a no vote. Let's say you didn't vote because you forgot that was the day for votes. You thought it was Wednesday. It was Tuesday. Who knew that you are now voting no? Let's say you didn't vote because you was in labor. You are now voting no. So anybody who did not vote is now a no vote. That's the way it works. Yeah, that's the way it works. So, okay. At the time, political analysts said that the 2012 vote didn't necessarily indicate an overwhelming desire for statehood, but rather an underwhelming desire for a status change in general, whether it is statehood, independence, or any other solution. How could they even become a state? It's all Congress's call. See, what did I just say earlier? To become the 51st state, Congress will have to pass a statute to admit Puerto Rico as a state, and conversations around that possibility have obviously been going on for decades. The generalities of this process are found in the New States Clause in the U.S. Constitution. Every state, after the original 12 colonies, have to be admitted under this directive. And I'm going to guess that that's what the directive is right there. Article 4, Section 3, Clause 1 of the U.S. Constitution. New states may be admitted by Congress into the Union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, nor any state be formed by the jurisdiction of two or more states, or parts of states within the consent of the legislatures of the states concerned, as well as Congress. So basically, a state can't then say that we want to become a different state with part of that state and then make a new state. No. If you already are a state in America, you are that state, and that's that. So that's basically where they're going with that. Like they say, why such a low turnout? At first glance, it may look like statehood claimed a victory in this weekend's vote. However, the numbers tell a different story. According to the State Electoral Commission, 518,000 people voted, which represents 23% of the eligible voters. For comparison, in 2012, 1.8 million people voted, which the turnout was 77.5%. So even though the statehood vote won, 300,000 fewer people voted for that option this year than in 2012. So that's basically why that's happening. Why the low turnout before the election. Opposition parties encourage citizens to refrain from voting, saying the election was rigged, because that's the way the ballot was worded. Hey, so what happens next? Again, the latest vote was a non-binary referendum, so nothing really has to happen next. So basically, it's whatever Congress wants to do, and Congress is Republican, and Puerto Rico is Democratic. So uh, you could just guess what Congress is gonna do. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment. I want to know what y'all think about this. Like, especially if I have any people out there that happen to be Puerto Rican, you might have more insight on this than I do. You might know how the people over there are thinking way more than I do. Leave a couple comments down below. It'll be really appreciated. Also, share. That's all I got for you. And I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.